I cheated, got pregnant, and lost everything. A story of love, betrayal, and redemption. I never imagined that one mistake could unravel my entire life, leaving me standing alone in the ruins of what used to be a happy marriage. My name is Emily, and this is the story of how my choices destroyed the life I had with my husband, Ethan, and how I'm trying to put the pieces back together. For him, for myself, and for the child we're about to bring into the world. Ethan and I had been married for 8 years. To anyone looking from the outside, we were the perfect couple. Ethan was the kind of man every woman dreams of marrying. Thoughtful, hard-working, and endlessly patient. In the early years, our relationship was full of passion and joy. But as time passed, life began to take its toll. Ethan's demanding job as an architect kept him away from home for long hours, and when he was home, he was often too exhausted to talk or connect. At first, I tried to be understanding. I told myself it was just a phase, but the distance between us continued to grow. Our conversations became brief and surface level, our moments of intimacy few and far between. I felt invisible, like I was just another piece of furniture in the house. It was during one of these lonely periods that I met Adam, a new co-worker at my office. Adam was charming, outgoing, and attentive, the kind of person who made everyone around him feel special. He noticed things about me Ethan hadn't in years. The way I styled my hair, the perfume I wore, even the books I kept on my desk. At first it was harmless. We'd talk during lunch breaks or exchange jokes over email. I told myself there was nothing wrong with enjoying his attention. But slowly, those innocent conversations turned into something deeper. Adam would compliment me in ways that made my heart race, and I found myself looking forward to seeing him every day. One evening, after a late work event, Adam offered to drive me home. I hesitated, but accepted. During the ride, we talked about our lives, our dreams, and our disappointments. When we arrived at my house, I didn't get out of the car right away. Instead, we sat there talking and laughing under the glow of the streetlights. And then it happened. He leaned in, and I didn't pull away. I told myself it was a one-time mistake, a moment of weakness that would never happen again. But one mistake led to another, and before I knew it, I was caught in an affair that I couldn't seem to end. Adam made me feel alive in a way I hadn't felt in years, but the guilt of betraying Ethan was suffocating. I convinced myself I could keep my two worlds separate, but deep down, I knew it was only a matter of time before the truth came out. A few months later, I discovered I was pregnant. At first, I was thrilled. Ethan had always wanted children, and I thought this could be the start of a new chapter for us. But as I calculated the dates, panic set in. There was a chance the baby wasn't Ethan's, and the weight of that uncertainty was unbearable. I decided to keep the pregnancy a secret from Adam. I told myself the baby had to be Ethan's, and threw myself into preparing for motherhood. Ethan was ecstatic when I told him the news. He started coming home earlier, helping with baby preparations, and talking about the future. For the first time in years, it felt like we were reconnecting. But secrets have a way of revealing themselves. One evening, Ethan borrowed my phone to make a quick call to his sister. I had forgotten to delete some old messages from Adam. When Ethan saw them, his face went pale. "Emily," he said, his voice trembling. "Who is Adam? What is this?" I felt the blood drain from my face. I knew I couldn't lie anymore. I confessed everything, the affair, my doubts about the baby's paternity, and all the lies I had been living. Ethan didn't say a word. He just walked out the door. The next morning, I found a note on the kitchen table. "I need time. Don't contact me." Days later, divorce papers arrived in the mail. I was shattered. I had destroyed my marriage, hurt the man who loved me, and thrown our future into chaos. When the DNA test results came back, they confirmed that the baby was indeed Ethan's. I thought this news might change everything, that it might bring him back to me. I wrote Ethan a heartfelt letter, apologizing for my betrayal and begging for a chance to make things right. I told him about the results and promised to do whatever it took to earn his trust again. Weeks passed with no response. Then, one evening, there was a knock at my door. It was Ethan. "I got your letter," he said quietly. "I don't know if I can ever forgive you, Emily, but this baby is mine and I won't abandon my child." We sat down and talked for hours. For the first time in years, we were honest with each other about our feelings, our fears, and the cracks in our marriage that had led us to this point. Ethan agreed to be part of the baby's life, but he made it clear that rebuilding our relationship would take time if it was even possible. We started attending therapy not as a couple but as co-parents trying to navigate a complicated situation. Slowly, we began to rebuild a foundation of trust. It wasn't easy, and there were moments when it felt like we were moving backward, but through it all, we kept showing up for each other and for our child. The day our baby Sophie was born, Ethan was by my side. Holding her in his arms, I saw a glimmer of hope in his eyes. It didn't erase the pain of the past, but it reminded us both of the future we still had the chance to create. Our story doesn't have a perfect ending, but it has a new beginning. Ethan and I are learning to co-parent and navigate this new chapter of our lives. Whether we find our way back to each other or not, I'm grateful for the chance to make amends and build a better future for Sophie. If this story touched your heart, please subscribe to our YouTube channel for more real-life stories of love, betrayal, and redemption. Don't forget to leave your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you for being part of our journey.